Today's guest is someone who embodies what it means to build a business with both freedom and impact. Today, I'm joined by Jess Whatman, the founder and CEO of AgentSync, an award-winning virtual assistant agency that's transformed the way hundreds of business owners across Australia and New Zealand work, lead, and grow. Jess spent 20 years in real estate watching brilliant business owners burn out under the weight of doing everything themselves. Instead of accepting that as the norm, she set out to rewrite the story. AgentSync was born from that mission. In just 3 years, she scaled it to a multi-seven-figure company, built an incredible team of her own, and has been nominated for REB's Innovator of the Year across multiple categories 2 years running. This conversation feels personal because I've worked with Jess's VAs in both my previous creative agency in Sydney and now in my performance coaching business. I've seen firsthand how the right support doesn't just help you run your business, it helps you become the kind of leader who can step back, breathe, and perform at your best. Because performance does start within, but it's also sustained by the systems and the support you build around you. And that's exactly why I'm so excited to share this conversation with Jess today. Jess, welcome to Performance Starts Within.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're most welcome. I kind of feel like this is a bit of a surreal roundabout moment because we first met actually in Bali in a business mastermind. And I remember that experience so well. And it kind of ties into the topic that we're talking about today because it was the first month that I actually doubled my business and my revenue. And I was able to switch off and just completely focus on business because I had such an amazing team of VAs behind me. And so one of the things I kind of wanted to talk to you about is like 20 years in real estate is where you started.
Yeah.
How did you find that gap or know that we needed to change the dynamic and how AgentSync kind of came to life?
Yeah. Wow. I can't believe that's how we met. And now we're sitting doing a podcast together. That's crazy.
I know.
love that. But yeah, 20 years in real estate. And it was about 10 years ago that I went to the Philippines because the agency that I was working for, they were spending so much money on staff in Australia. And it was never, ever about replacing jobs here. It was always about let's free up the people here in Australia to do what they should be doing and spend like less time on admin and, basic marketing and things. So that was my role to go over to the Philippines. And I went there a couple of times and sussed it all out. But my first trip over there, I was just blown away by these incredible people and how skilled and intelligent, university educated, and just absolutely love working for Australian clients. And so, we employed 6 of them, and I just was blown away by how incredible they were at their job. So I managed 6 of them for a few years, and then I just kind of got that urge to start my own business, and I had the opportunity to do that while still working full time. And I thought, what sort of business can I start that allows me to do this for other business owners while giving great opportunities to people in the Philippines. So I saw the gap in the market. Of course, there was always a few virtual assistant agencies around, but I saw firsthand the stress that they were under working for Australian clients but not getting paid very well. And I saw how much they were charging, like the other company was charging the agency, and I thought that's not right. There's a huge gap there. And so I wanted to create my own agency where I could pay the VAs really well, find incredible people, and be able to provide them to businesses in Australia. And the rest is history.
Here you are now.
Yeah.
Love that. And it's really interesting you say about the quality that you found over there, because even some of the VAs I've had here, I have some of yours and they even correct my spelling. Like they have communication degrees and they are so skilled at what they do. And I don't even know if I could find someone locally here in Australia that would have that level of qualification and skill that I've had experience coming from AgentSync.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I love hearing that. So good. But you're absolutely right. And I think that's where a lot of the misconceptions are around offshoring, is that it's for really basic roles and, data entry or things that are really, really set procedures, which 100%, our elite, our essential, we've got 2 packages, essential and elite. Our essentials are your great sort of general admin VAs, but then our elite package is like operations manager, online business managers, general managers, things like that, where their qualifications are incredible. And like if you were going to find someone here in Australia to do that role, you'd be looking at 150K plus a year. We've got, you know, assistant lawyers, we've got accountants. Like it's mind blowing. So we're really trying to squash those misconceptions around outsourcing just being for basic roles.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of your OBMs before.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I find that I just skip straight to the elite now.
Yeah.
Just because I know what they're capable of and
Yeah.
know what I need, and I wouldn't be able to get that here.
Yeah.
And so when I was thinking about some of the questions to kind of ask you today, I know because I've been a client of yours for nearly 18 months,
Yeah,
2 years, coming up 2 years.
Yeah.
But aside from cost, because a lot of people talk about that a VA is going to save you money or it's going to cost you money, what are the other values that you can get from having someone in your business like that?
Yeah, well, obviously there's the cost, but it's the hidden costs as well. So there's there's no super, payroll tax, all of that. The one monthly invoice that you pay to us is all you pay. So of course the cost savings, and the skills qualifications. We are finding even our clients that have onshore staff, a lot of those staff aren't as qualified as the virtual assistants that we're finding. So yeah, I think squashing those misconceptions around the VAs being just for basic tasks, we're getting really degree qualified people, and it's just incredible.
Yeah, that's amazing. And even some of the things that I've noticed with having someone in the business that takes the decision fatigue out. One of the things that, like, the cost to me is probably the bottom on my list when I'm looking for somebody, because I've had some really amazing people come through from you who their role is to take away the decisions.
Yeah.
They come in saying, if you have to make a decision, I'm not doing my job properly.
Yeah.
And they go on and organize my life. And it's amazing.
Yeah.
To the point, some of them even booked in, some coffee dates for myself and things like sent me a list of Christmas photos for my son and I, because I know it's something that I've been thinking about doing, but I haven't actually taken action on it. And so it's goes even beyond, I just need someone to come in and, cook me dinner.
Yeah.
But it goes beyond even just the cost of taking out maybe the admin task as well. It's that you get bogged down in so many decisions that I love that they can actually help free up that space, which means we're so creative. We have much more strategy now. So I really love that. That's who you're sourcing.
Yeah. And that's why our elite package has really blown up the last year or so, because they're those critical thinkers, strategic. I've got a few elite obviously in my internal team, and I just have a list of things that I've ever thought about, I wanted to do with the business, and they'll just chip away at them until I say it's urgent, of course, but they'll come to me with ideas, or Jess, we know that, at one point you want to launch into America. Here's a full launch plan, where we're going to target first, what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, what it's going to look like, do we need to set up another company, all these things. And I'm just gone, wow, okay, like, let's do it. Do you know what I mean? Because I haven't had to, I can then come in and just think about that top 10 or 20% of the bigger decisions, not the how and why. It's like, let's do it.
Oh, I just love that so much. And so what's the process for you finding those people? Because you're wanting to source people that are extremely well qualified and have the skills and obviously the conversation, the communication. Like, how is it that you're finding them at that level?
Yeah. We have spent a lot of time refining our recruitment process. When I started AgentSync, it was very much all VAs are the same, which I've now learnt is not the case at all, but it was a very simple recruitment process. Now, for our elite level, it is, first we've got to make sure we're finding the right person with the client. So we spend a lot of time like, what exactly do you need? And then it's very similar, I guess, to finding someone here in Australia. You're putting your job ad out, and you're culling the list of who's most qualified, but then it's a series of shortlisting, interviewing, 30, 60, 90-day plans. Yeah, a lot goes into making sure that they're the right person for the role. But having that elite package, obviously the client is paying more for that, so it allows us to pay the virtual assistant more. So having that higher salary on that job ad allows us to attract the higher caliber of people. Means we get a lot of resumes on those ones because, of course, everyone wants to earn more money. But yeah, it allows us to attract people that might be in a similar role somewhere else and kind of pull them across and lure them into working with AgentSync.
Yeah, amazing. And so for someone that's in business at the moment listening who feels a little bit stuck, probably doing everything,
Yeah.
where's the first place they can start on looking at things they can hand off to free up their time?
I've spoken about this a couple of times on different podcasts, but it is really the most simple thing you can do. It's like you need to evaluate your day, your week, your month. What are you doing in your business that doesn't require you? So I like to grab a bit of paper or start a Google Doc and have 2 columns. What's a $10 an hour task and a $100 an hour task? $100 an hour task is only something you can do. So for me, it's this podcast. Like I can't get a VA to come and sit here and chat to you. This is a me thing. Another thing is finalizing the payroll. Another thing is, picking the kids up from school. Like only these things and literally break it down to like everything you do in your life. Because there's things that you do in your life that you could get a VA to do as well. It's like you need new health insurance, like get a VA to do, some checks of different health insurance. There's so many things. But yeah, everything that's in that $10 an hour task list, you can get a VA to do. You just haven't thought about how or why. But if it's in that list, like 100%, you just need to record a quick Loom video or, talk about the process into ChatGPT, have it write out a process for you and give it to a virtual assistant. But once you get rid of all of that stuff, like you'll just be amazed at how much room you have in your day to actually focus on those bigger strategic things. And a lot of people think, but it's just so much easier if I just quickly do that task myself. Yeah, but if you're doing that for like 50 things in the day, that's your whole day. So you've got to get comfortable with just saying, like just handing it off to someone else.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I did that activity and actually found I didn't have enough to fill my day after I did it.
Yeah,
because there was so many things I was filling with small, tedious tasks that I was convincing myself that I needed to do, but I really didn't. It was just a control thing, right? It was just like I had to learn to let go. And the only way to move forward out of this bottleneck that I ended up, I think I crash hired 3 VAs at once at one stage because I was like, oh my God, I don't need 1, I need 3. Was when I started to actually look at what is it that you're doing every single day that you can free up, and there were so many things.
So good. But once you realize and you start handing it off, you go, oh my God, why didn't I do this sooner? And you might still have to have a look at that list every now and again and readjust some things or go in and approve the 10% that's left of the 90% of the task. But if you're doing that for 100 things, going in and just approving it, you're not actually doing the whole 100% of the task. So it's wild, but it's such a simple task to do for yourself, but you have to do it.
Yeah. And we spoke about before how like when we first met, we were in Bali. And that month was the first month I ever did in business that I doubled my revenue. And that's just me. And I'm not a really big fish. And you would come across some really big clients. Like, what are some of the results that you've got from just freeing up some of their time?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, a lot. We've actually, and I think that's why our Elite package is doing so well, because when we place an Elite with someone, they're obviously of that higher caliber of, education and skills and everything, but it's making our clients realize like, wow, okay, I can actually hire another one, free, say, Jenny up in accounting who's onshore and get her an assistant. So we've got quite a few clients now that have 3 or 4 virtual assistants, and that's happened in a really short period of time because they've gotten one and they go, wow, this actually works really well. So for example, there's a lady named Kate. I talk about her quite a lot as well because she started with a project VA. She was really hesitant at the start to get a VA. She had a lot of database cleaning up to do. So this was when we were doing projects. But we got a VA, cleaned up the data, and she went, oh, that worked really well. Maybe I need a VA for the property management team. Got a VA for the property management team. Then she went, oh, I would love a VA to help me. Got her a VA, and now we've got another sales assistant in the office as well. So she went from being really hesitant in working with a project VA to now having 3 full-time, and that's 2 essentials and 1 elite. and she'll keep hiring because it's just working so well. So we've got a lot of clients now that just keep hiring. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. And I know from like my personal experience, I went back to a day job after closing down my company last
Yeah.
year and went back into sales. And I forget how much I loved having a VA and even noticing the small tedious tasks that they're just not the company to be able to outsource,
Interesting.
or they've chosen not to.
Yes. Yeah.
There's a choice,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
I would be making so much money and
Yeah.
in that job, and I would be so good with my clients if I just had somebody doing the back ends, like simple things like your calendar and your emails and paying suppliers and following things up. Like I sit on the phone for 4 hours with suppliers myself, where you could have somebody doing that and you could be,
Absolutely.
making more money. So
Yeah.
it's just wild how different it is. And it was actually quite humbling to come back to go, oh, it's almost like, coming back with no hot water.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've had it for so long.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about beyond business growth. What motivates you personally to keep building agency? Because it's going so well.
Thank you. I just love it. And I always knew I wanted to have my own business, and I was always hesitant, would it work? Would it not work? And I thought, I just need to do it. But now that it's like on this, on the roll, I guess, I just can't stop. Like, I just love it. I love what we provide. I love the service we provide. I love the virtual assistants that we're finding, seeing happy clients that are getting great results. It's just really motivating to keep it going. Like, there's no way I could ever shut it down or anything like that. Like, I love it. So it's not only the growth of AgentSync, but it's, just growing something for myself, something I've, it's like another child, I guess. You're feeding it, you're loving it, it's growing. But also, I think in the future, what I'll be able to do for my family and my extended family is really motivating as well. So at the moment, every last bit of money is going back into the business to grow it. But I think in time, just provide a better life.
Yeah, I love that. And it's really inspiring as well, because I know we were talking before about just get into the business again and serial entrepreneurship. And from your current VAs, because you were speaking a lot about how they come to you with ideas.
Yes.
For the future of AgentSync,
Yeah.
AI is becoming so big at the moment. What is it that you're moving across? Because a lot of people are saying VAs are not going to exist anymore because of AI. How are you incorporating both so that you are able to move that into the future?
I definitely think a lot of tasks will be taken by AI, but I'm not worried. I see it as a huge opportunity. We've already got a huge amount of courses in our AgentSync Academy for AI and ChatGPT, and we're continually adding new courses in there. And I think with our Elite package, we'll be able to find virtual assistants that are really skilled in AI. So instead of a business owner going, there's 100 AI tools I need to learn to incorporate into my business. No, you're going to get a VA that's going to be across a whole heap of AI tools, because as a business owner, you shouldn't be out there learning all the different 100 AI tools. You should be doing whatever you need to bring in leads or be the CEO and run the business, not learning every AI tool that's available, but have a VA that can. So I see it as like CEO, team of VAs that are utilizing AI, and that'll allow the VAs to become really valuable to the business owner. But also, it's just about upskilling the VAs as well. So the ones that we find, obviously we want to upskill them to incorporate more AI into what they're doing day to day. But we're even seeing people come forward now to have like sales calls with us, and they're like, I just don't know if I need a VA or I need AI. And I'm like, but you don't even know what kind of AI you need. And it's going to be a long time until, when I say long time, it might be a couple of years before a lot of the tasks that they need are replaced by AI. So why don't you get a VA now? Get those tasks off your plate so you can grow your business. In the meantime, the VA can start outsourcing some of their tasks to AI, and that way everyone's growing together.
Love that.
Do you think the same? In like, you're obviously starting another business, growing that. Do you see that as like something that you would incorporate, like a VA that's really highly skilled in AI, like if you could get one VA instead of 2 or 3, that VA becomes really valuable to you.
Yeah, and I think that's why I always move towards your elite VAs, because my starting a business from scratch again means that I have no operations.
Yeah.
I'm starting brand new funnels, brand new business, like
Mm.
brand new branding, brand new name. Everything's new. And having somebody that is equipped with a bit of AI that can go, well, this is going to be easy to do it this way.
Yeah.
And they also grow themselves. And I really love having people that grow within your business. I think that's really important because they get to know you and how you're going, and they elevate with you, and you can match skills. And the point I was trying to make before is Richard Branson talks a lot about this, where he's all about hire great talent and then move out of the way.
Yes.
He
Love
doesn't
that.
know how to read profit and loss statements. He doesn't know the technical side of things. He had the vision.
Yeah.
He was a really good visionary, and he hired extremely good people to help bring that vision to life. And so I imagine that as part of a lot of what your business owners can do, and even myself, that I know that I need that help in implementation.
Yeah.
And so that's why I love having a VA. And if we can streamline processes along the way so that we both can do things easier, and that will help their VA, even better. Integrations, like small integrations that I would not have the skill for. And it's not something I want to have the skill for yet. Having somebody that's interested, even better.
Yeah. Get someone that's their zone of genius. Like you were saying about Richard Branson. I'm the same. Like I have Sheila now who runs so much of the back end of the business. Half of it, I don't even know how it runs.
I want a Sheila. Everyone needs a Sheila.
But that's the thing. Like that's not my area of genius to know how all the different softwares work. Like that's why you have a Sheila. That's why you have an Elite. So they can run those things and you get out of their way. And of course, you keep an eye on things, but the day-to-day, it's like, no, you need to be out there growing your business. And so totally agree.
Amazing. And I can imagine as well, I guess, moving from when you first started, is it 3 years ago now?
Yeah.
When you start from zero, right?
Yeah.
To now hitting multi-7 figures, which is unreal. You would have gone through so many layers of that mindset to get through each level. Because I even know from me getting from, to get to 100K is a completely different mindset to get to 200 to, and then your team growing.
Yeah.
What is it that you've noticed over the years that you've had to kind of level up each time?
Oh, yeah. I always think about this. I remember when I was working at Chadwick and I started AgentSync, and I had on my screen, it was at night, Clint and I were sitting on the lounge watching TV, and I had on the screen, it was like a Monday.com dashboard, and it had $15,000. And Clint's like, what's that? And I said, oh, that's what I want to get to per month. And he was just like, what, really? And I don't know what, maybe I was doing 5K a month. I don't know. And we were just like, what? Like, there's no way that like this business could get to that. We were just, there's no way. And now it's obviously doing a lot more than that. But I just remember that so vividly because it was such a goal and I never thought it was possible. And I thought, my God, I'm going to be the richest person in the world. Like if I could get to 15K a month. And now, like I said, we're doing a lot more than that. But I guess the change in perspective is like it doesn't matter what level you're at. If it's 5K a month, 10K a month, 100K a month, you do have to work on yourself as much as you work on the business. And I've had to do that a lot because I always felt that I wasn't smart enough to have my own business, or I just didn't do very well at school. And I never went to uni because I just didn't think I was smart enough. I needed tutoring in high school to even get half decent grades. So I never felt smart enough. So when I started ticking over those small milestones of 5K a month, 10K a month, 15K a month, I was like, oh my God, okay. And then it's like 100K a month, 150K a month. And it's like, wow, okay. But you learn really quickly that having a great team is like the biggest superpower because you're hiring people that you don't have the skill set for what they have the skill set of. So if you're like hiring a Sheila, she has such a unique mind of like funnels and back end and procedures and all that tech stuff that I wouldn't have been able to get where I am today if I didn't have someone like her. And so the next level of business, I'm just going to have to keep hiring staff that are really skilled. I'm hoping for not as much staff because I want the staff that we have to utilize AI more. But yeah, team is just powerful, like majorly powerful. So yeah, it's mindset, working on yourself, but also having an incredible team.
Amazing. And yeah, I sit there creating my own funnels before I had a VA, thinking to myself, I was so proud. I was like, oh my God, I did one funnel, saving money, and realized it took me 20 hours to do. And I could have had it set up literally that week and be with all clients and making money, which is just wild. And I definitely think that, the difference between some business owners and clients that really hit that next level is that mindset.
Yeah.
And I know, it's good that you're able to see that as well, because a lot of people get in their own way and have those stories, and sometimes having a team helps you.
Yeah.
I know that for my VA, I taught her that if I'm emotional, don't make decisions.
Yeah.
Because I know that, if you're dysregulated, as an example, you don't make the best decision. So having someone to come back to the vision to go, this is what we're working towards. And then I have her question and go, is this an urgent thing?
Yeah.
I'm going to sit on this, and then I'm going to ask you tomorrow again, is this still important to you?
Yeah.
Because it may not be the case. And just having those people that kind of know, which is really, really good. So
absolutely,
that's part of my onboarding now for my VAs. Don't make decisions if you notice that I'm dysregulated. Even if I say do it now, just pause.
I love that. And I'm the same with my team. I've got a couple of key people in my exec team, and I think as a business owner, you've always got these big ideas, and if you're a true entrepreneur, that never stops. You've got these huge business ideas of what you want to do, or even start another business that might complement that business, and to have that little close-knit team of people that you can say, oh, this is what I'm thinking. They actually go, hang on a second, is that really what we want? And then they'll go away, think about it, pros, cons, what it's going to cost, how we're going to do that, come back to me, and then I'll go, oh, actually, let's not do that. But if it was up to me, I probably would have started it without even really thinking, and then would have regretted it. So it's, to have that team that really understands you is,
Do you think that's what gets in the way of a lot of people from progressing beyond that they're doing things on their own, and they do serial entrepreneurs that have all these grand ideas and never get anywhere?
Yeah, I do. Definitely.
Interesting. So if only they just came over and got a VA from you.
Yeah.
Got a Sheila.
There you go, guys.
They would make the millions. So.
Yeah.
You've helped so many business owners reclaim a lot of their time and freedom, but what's the moment in your own journey where you actually felt really, really free for the first time?
Probably when I quit my job. So I worked for a full year. The first year of my business, I was still working full-time for another business.
How did you do that?
I actually don't know. He was very good. I have spoken about Scott Chadwick on a few podcasts, but it was a very unique circumstance of, he was selling his business, and he needed me to hang on and not quit, but he allowed me to start my business as long as it didn't affect his business. And then he was my first client, and then he referred me to some of his friends, and then they became clients. And so it was all very open and honest, and I probably hung on 6 months longer than I should. But because he had given me that chance, I didn't want to leave him before he had sold the business. So he sold to Di Jones, and I just didn't sign on over to Di Jones. So very unique. But I think when you're starting in business, you've got to do what you got to do. And if you can work, obviously it depends if you've got money behind you to be able to just quit and start a business. But I do recommend trying to do it as a bit of a side hustle, just to make sure it's going to take off before, you go and quit. Some people say go all in, but it depends on your circumstances. If you've got kids and a mortgage and things, you've got to be smart about it. But I think if you really want it, you can make it happen.
I feel like she's trying to teach me something here. Go all in.
Yeah.
And how old are your kids now?
Almost 6 and 4.
Yeah, so you got your hands full.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's it's a lot. Yeah.
And also really nice that you're able to hang on and have that safety net in there before going all in, and probably building your confidence a little bit as well to make sure you're
absolutely. And I think that mindset came into it of is this all going to disappear? Are people going to, think I'm not a proper business owner. And some of my clients that have been with me for the full 3 years, I've said to them, when we catch up and things, I caught up with one of them for dinner a couple of weeks ago, and she said, "Have you ever been in business for 3 years?" I said, "Yeah." And she said, "We've been with you for 3 years." I went, "Yeah." And she said, "Oh, I thought you'd been going for years." And I went, "No, I probably made you think that." And I can say that now because we're friends and everything, but sometimes you've just got to fake it till you make it. If you truly believe in what you're doing, and I did, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, "Ooh, I just didn't want people to think I just started 2 weeks ago." And yeah. So definitely that mindset. You've got to work on that mindset as well.
And you must have had a really good circle around you. Who do you
Yeah.
bring into your world to kind of help you with that? Because I know we've spoken about before, like mindset. So like I've got a mindset coach to help me with that mindset. I think we probably have the same one. But
yeah, we do.
who else do you have to help champion for you and, help you bring you up on the days that, because business isn't always,
Yeah.
lovey and fancy all the time.
Yeah. My husband he's a big supporter. Business coach. I've got a couple now for different areas, but yeah, and just a really close-knit group, friend group. Yeah, I think people that are in the same spot in business, so they understand what you're going through. Because I've got best friends from high school, but you just can't. I love them to death, but you can't go and talk about, the really nitty-gritty parts of business because they just don't get it. They're stay-at-home mums or they've got, a job and they just don't get that. So I think you've got to be really selective with, who you have as that group around you.
Yeah, I think that's why I'm always in a business mastermind because same thing, friends are lovely.
Mm.
Family's great,
Yeah.
but they may be in traditional jobs. They may be in something like government where they're not used to pulling the ceiling out or doing things completely differently, or they've got this huge process that you got to go through a chain of command just to get to, get your annual leave approved randomly.
Totally.
Whereas in business is just, having people that are in that entrepreneur space and can see things differently, I think is really good and know that you're capable of so many things.
Yeah, I think that's where my husband's so great because he is in that role, hopefully not for too much longer, but he's in that government job. So he has to ask for time off and he sees me like going to New Zealand and doing whatever I want to be able to grow the business. And he's just like, oh, yeah, he's ready. And he has seen me take a business from just an idea to, multi-seven figures. So he's just like, yeah, that's why he believes in me so much and pushes me so much because he's been there through everything. So yeah, that's really nice.
Nice. Oh. What's something that you would love to share with someone that you may not have shared on a podcast before?
Ooh. Oh, I don't know. I think I just want more people to be really open to the idea of outsourcing. As much as it has grown as an industry the last couple of years, there's still so many people we talk to on the daily that are so hesitant. And you know yourself, like you've had a couple of VAs, some have worked and some haven't, but you have seen the really great ones and how amazing it can be. And for the people that are too scared to even try, I just think, oh my God, you're so crazy to not give it a go. And even if you have one and it doesn't work out because it's the wrong fit, like try again. There's so many people that just go, I tried it once and it didn't work. And I think, but if you had a bad receptionist, would you just never open the door to your office? Like, no, you'd go, okay, that one didn't work. We'll get another receptionist. Like you just try again until you find the right fit. And I just think so many businesses are doing it tough at the moment. And it's so incredibly frustrating that more people aren't trying to outsource. And it's not about replacing jobs here, but how are you going to grow your business if you have to keep employing people in Australia to do really basic work that can be offshored, and then you're freeing people up here in Australia to do bigger, better, more dollar producing work for you to grow your business? Like, it just blows my mind. So I really I just want more people to be open about it and have a chat about the possibilities because it's just wild.
Yeah, it's like a muscle. I find that the more I outsource, the better I get at it. And I start thinking of other things that you can also outsource. So originally when I was so nervous getting a VA from you the first time, not
Yeah.
because I was skeptical about the process, but more of opening up and hiring
Yeah.
and, adding that expense to the business. And as soon as I did, it was amazing how much time, energy, space it created. And then I started going, oh, what else can I give to them? And so now I look at things like, can I give you my cookie do subscription to go through and put my recipes that I'm cooking for my son for the week?
Yeah.
And can you put them in my shopping cart and order my shopping for me? Because that's one thing that might take me an hour and a half out of my week. And solo parenting, don't have a lot of time with work and business and podcasting. And it's amazing that you can do that and have somebody that just has your back that way. So yeah, I really do hope that people do a lot more of that, and they trust the process. And I'm envisioning that every single person, like they have a car, is going to have a VA at some point.
Yes. Yeah. Love that. That's so cool. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having this chat. I'm really excited that we're back in each other's circle as well.
Me too.
And for those
I've missed you.
I've missed you, honestly. I talk to your team on a regular basis. We email a lot.
Yeah.
And we have some incredible VAs working with us, so I'm very excited. But for those that are listening that want to come into your world in VA support, I'm going to put a link in the show notes. But where else can they find you?
I like to hang out on Instagram quite a lot. So Jess Whatman _AgentSync. But yeah, our website, any social media channel you can catch me on, have a chat. But yeah, our website, agentsync.com.au.
Amazing. And I'll pop it down below as well. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
So nice to talk to you.